Good evening and welcome to another exciting episode of Sports Federation TV. I'm Elton Davids. We're chatting sports, how sport has changed lives, how we have passion on and off the field. We're chatting today a bit about bowls. We're chatting women's safety. And in studio right now, hello Brian, hello Yvonne.
Hello, Elton.
Brian, are you well?
I'm very well, thanks. Nice being here.
Yvonne, you well?
I'm well, thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming. You linked to Wheatfield Bowling Club. Tell us where it is, what's it about?
Wheatfield Bowling Club is obviously a bowling club. We play lawn bowls. Our club is going to be 35 years old one of the days on the 4th of October. And that's what we do. We play bowls and we're very passionate about our bowls. We have a nice growing number of new bowlers at the moment, which is excellent. Did I tell you where we are?
Where?
In Wheatfield Estate in Athlone.
Okay.
It's Athlone, yeah.
Yep.
Extension.
Yeah,
of Athlone.
the area, but in fact the club is right near the Turf Hall Sports
Yeah.
Club that houses the big softball stadium.
Yep.
So we're just down the road from
Down
there,
the road from
and
there.
so we abut places like Hanover Park and Jansen areas around there. So yeah, so we're in the coloured area basically.
Okay. A question I have, greens. How does one determine whether it's a good green or a bad green? Let's start there.
Listen, a good green, you'll soon know when you bowl on a good green. It allows you to play the game beautifully. The minute the green is not a very good green, you'll soon know. It's all about speed. Good greens have good consistent speed. Bad greens doesn't have that, but you'll soon know. But it's a very technical subject. Speak to greenkeepers about that. They know a lot more about that than I do.
I'm sure they do, but now from a technical point of view, when you roll that ball, is it called a ball?
A bowl.
A bowl.
A bowl.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you read the green to get that bowl close to the jack?
Well, as you well know, bowls have a bias.
Yep.
Okay, you can bowl the bias on the forehand coming in or on the backhand coming in. Of course, you know that the aim is to get as close to the white ball as possible, very much like golf is. You know, it's a similar thing. The delivery is by arm with golf. It's with a club, but the idea is the same. To get as close to the white ball as possible. And again, it's all about speed,
Control.
and control. Very technical game. The old man's game, yeah.
I beg to differ. I know of a couple of youngsters who are playing bowls.
I'm really saying
Absolutely.
that. Listen, there are some youngsters that are playing the game, which is nice to see, but there's still a massive gap in that market for young people. It's a tough job getting there. We've tried all sorts of things in the past. In fact, we had a schools division going some years ago. It's not happening again. It's a manpower thing, man. You need people to get out there, dedicated people, and believe me, there are people. But it's a long process. It's a tough process. You have to pick up the kids from school. The teachers are not particularly interested. They've got other things to do, like teaching the kids. So you've got to get them there, collect them, feed them, get them home, be responsible for them. So you can understand, it's a tough job, in organizing youngsters to play the game. Having said that, and I think you will agree with me, if we don't do that, bowls are not going to last very long. We are dealing with old people, and old people in bowls die every year, regularly, believe me. We had how many people pass on this year?
3 or 4 people.
And this happens all the time. So, and I don't think enough allowances in the whole game has been made to offset that. There's just not enough energy been put into developing the young people. And as I said earlier, there are people doing it. Tough job though.
Yeah, and a lot of it is by volunteerism.
Well,
Because,
absolutely.
because
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
what drives sport.
Yeah.
Yvonne, you guys run an exciting outreach program. Tell us a bit about the open days and those kinds of things.
Oh, we've got one. I'm glad you asked that. We've got a big one coming up now on the 21st, which is
Next week,
Sunday.
actually, yeah.
Sundays, and we're busy. We got other disciplines of sport involved, and we've invited the softball and the cycling and
Softball,
cycling, and
cricket,
and the cricketers,
soccer
from
guys.
other disciplines, and we've invited them to come and spend a day on the bowling greens, and hopefully we will get at least one or two. Well, we're hoping for 10 new bowlers to come and join our club, you know, and that's just one of the ways that we need to develop it and put it out there for other disciplines. We found, I personally don't think that school children is our target market. They're too young. It's too boring for children. You know, our target market is people whose children have already grown up and now they can't play sport anymore and they're now looking for something to do. So, which is like 45, 50-year-olds. That is the younger people that we're looking at this stage.
I tend to go along with that. And you know, we've discussed this at length. How do we grow the bowls fraternity? And I think the answer is to grow the social side of your club. Get guys to come in on a Friday, have a drink, chat, have a braai, have a boerie, and whatever. And I think this is the start of what we want to do. We have a few guys that have belonged to other activities. They've come out of soccer into bowls and cricket and come into bowls. So the idea now is to get them all come on a Sunday and have a go, man. No technicalities, just get on the green and have a shot. We have a braai, have a couple of drinks, obviously. And hopefully out of 200, we'll get 10, which is fantastic. And we can keep
10
doing
is good.
that,
10
then
is
we'll
good.
grow the club, you see. But that is the way to go, to get people into the club. And we have a lovely club, and we have a bar.
Yes, I know about that, Paul.
You know.
Let's have a look and see what the outreach program is all about. Let's take a look. See you now. quite interesting, the little clip that was there. A range of different age groups, male and female coming to these kinds of open days.
Absolutely, yes. We need to have it. I mean, women are a big part of the club. They've got to make the sandwiches.
No. That's not the
sound
only reason why they come to the
And
bowling
make
club.
the tea, other than playing bowls.
Maybe you want to share a bit about the definition that you brought for.
I'm going to read to you an excerpt from a book that I found quite by accident by a Australian guy, Hensel, who in fact was the developer of the Henselite bowl, which is widely used. And he says, bowls is a science. Bowls is a science. Now he goes on to say that the study of a lifetime in which you may exhaust yourself but not your subject. It is a contest, a duel calling for courage, skill and self-control. Absolutely spot on it is. It is a test of temper, a trial of honor, a revealer of character. You get the gist of this. It affords the chance to play the man and still act the gentleman. All right? It is a cure for care and an antidote for worry. It includes companionship with friends, social intercourse, and opportunities for courtesy, kindliness, and generosity to an opponent. It provides not only physical health, but moral force. And I think it is absolutely beautifully written. It is exactly what the game is about.
Yeah. Because it looks after the entire being, some
Yes.
social, mental,
Absolutely.
physical.
Yes.
Because I mean, you talk about the bar, you talk about the social element,
Yes.
but there's also a technical side of things.
Absolutely.
And like you say, you're playing the ball, you're not playing the man.
I look forward to going to my bowls every Saturday. You know
Saturday.
why? I miss my family. It is a family thing, my extended family. This is why we go. And this is what develops through the years. I miss Yvonne. If I don't see her, I would phone her. I say, I'm sorry I couldn't make it Saturday. How do you things go? That's what it's about. You know.
But that's the ethos of a club.
Yeah,
Absolutely
it's
right.
correct.
It's
That's
about
correct.
the,
Yeah.
the unity
Unity.
of people with a common goal.
That's
Correct.
right.
Yvonne, tell us a bit about the celebrations that's coming up related to the club.
Our 35th anniversary dance, well, obviously we're 35 years old. Of the original members that started the club way back, there's only 3 ladies still surviving, and they're well in their 90s.
Sure.
They're well in their 90s. I'm hoping I don't think they're going to be coming to the dance, but our dance is going to be at the Turf Hall Sports Club, and it's a dinner dance. You can bring your own XYZ, so if you want to come, please come.
I haven't been to a dance in ages.
In ages.
Let's take a short break so you can recover from the bowls, and when we come back, we'll chat more bowls. See you now. Welcome back to Sports Federation TV. We're chatting bowls, a very exciting game, very technical game. Joined in studio by Yvonne and Brian. Yvonne, you were telling us before the ad break about this dance.
Our dance, it's a dinner dance. We're serving a lovely meal, and it's 120 Rand per head. And as I say, it's on the 3rd, Friday the 3rd of October.
Friday the 3rd, not the 13th.
No, the 3rd, Friday the
the
3rd. I can give you a number if you want to get hold of us. My number is 07284444968 if you're interested in any tickets.
But I mean, there's also the website, Brian, that
And
people
the
can
website,
get
yes.
Yeah, we have
information
a
on.
We had a
fantastic
wonderful
website,
website.
and please go on to it because
On the
it
website.
tells you a lot more about what we do other than bowls. It tells you about the social side as well. We hire the hall for weddings and other functions as well. It's a lot. This is in fact where we get a lot of our revenue from, and it's important that we sustain that.
And it's a fairly big hall as well. I mean, I've been to a
It's
few
liquor
functions.
hall,
in it.
actually.
What's the website address?
Wheatfield Bowls.
.co.za.
That's
Yeah.
it. It's
Simple.
as simple as that. And we need people to support our club. In fact, we need people to come and have their functions there, their weddings, their birthdays, their other social events. It's the kind of revenue that sustains the club. It's expensive to run a bowls club, especially the greens are. It costs a lot of money to do. And it would be nice if people would get onto the website, phone us, book the place. And the bar is such an advantage. It's in-house and it's cheap.
I know, 10 rand a drink, I'm told.
Absolutely right.
So tell us about we've touched on this in enrichment program and about getting the outreach program. What kind of people generally come through the door? Like you said, people who are retired potentially or not even retired?
No, not necessarily retired, but people that's maybe past their own sporting code, you know, that now wants to do something that's maybe not as rough and whatever, strenuous maybe for them. We've just had a man join us now that's got a deformed arm, never played bowls before in his life, you know. So those are the kind of people that we're looking for, new first-time bowlers, not people that club hop, that then the club say, oh, we got 20 new bowlers, but it's people that have just gone from club to club. We have been really, really fortunate. We have had 10 people in the last 2 years that have never played bowls before.
Wow.
And 10 is a lot when you see how much bowls is dying at the moment. First-time bowlers, they are just such a joy, honestly, they are. It's just nice to be passing on your skill to somebody that doesn't know it.
But is it an expensive sport, Brian?
Well, I think initially, because a lot of the bowlers are pensioners, it sounds expensive, but relative to other sport, it's not. I mean, you initially want to have a bag of bowls. That's the only big cost, I think.
And what would that set someone back?
From 1 to 2,000 rand. I reckon from about 1,000 to 2,000 rand for a good set of bowls.
Okay.
And then, of course, there's the club fees. Around 700 to 1,000 rand per season. And that's your cost, really.
And your white flannels that you need to be wearing. But that's minor cost, you say?
But we're getting away from that now. We're getting into colours now.
Oh,
Yes, absolutely.
revolutionary, I see.
Well, we have to, man. I mean, I tell you why. For the younger people, people don't want to come and have to wear white longs and white shirts anymore. You know, they want to get into the colours, man. And we're doing that. In fact, most clubs are doing it now. And yeah.
Let's take a short break and see what else happens at Wheatfield Bowling Club. See you now. Welcome back. It's been interesting to see Wheatfield Bowling Club outreach program. Yvonne, how does one find out how to read a green? Do you have to play the game, or can you check it on the website, or how does one research things like this? Or what's the gist of the game other than just bowling the ball? The bowl.
The bowl.
Hey Brian, the bowl.
Well, as I say, in your team, as many of your team must get as close to the jack as possible, and different bowls take different amount of grass. You know, so the new bowls are what they call minimum bias. Now you almost have to go straight up the green. I don't know that there's a way to read the green without playing the bowl. Is there, Brian?
Well, you know, most bowling clubs have the in-house coaches anyway.
In-house coaches, yeah.
So that's probably the way to go. You know, when you join a club, you are introduced to the local coach, and they'll take you through the paces. There are various disciplines in the game, how to put the mat down, how to mark up your green, and all that sort of thing. Those are the basic disciplines, but you'll be taught that, and you'll be taught as well how to read the green, by the resident coach. So those are the easy parts.
Do you guys have a league system, or is it just a free-for-all come when you want to play? How does it work?
There is every Saturday tab-in. Tab-ins, all the bowlers come and we put the names in the hat, we draw it out and we play against each other. But then we're also affiliated to Western Province as well. We have a standard league, and we are affiliated to that. And it's called the Flag Division, where we play in a particular division against other teams. So that's the league. Other than that, there are the Western Province competitions where you play fours, pairs, trips, mixed. The normal competitions which you play domestically as well. So it's a full season of bowls, perhaps too much, but yeah, it's there. We even have to play on Sundays now because of the tight program.
Okay.
But it's okay, because we can have a bride lunchtime.
And have a drink.
Yvonne,
Yes.
over this last 35 years that Wheatfield has been in existence, what are some of the highlights that's come out of the club? Do you know of a few?
Well, we've had a few of our members that have been to represent Western Province, that actually played Western Province bowls. We have at the moment a young lady who's 18 years old now in matric, and she represents the under 25s, and she plays Western Province bowls. You're talking just about with regards to bowls?
Bowls, yes, in terms of excelling at Western Province, nationally, internationally.
I can't talk about many years ago in Brian's, when the club started. I don't know people that far back that played for Wheatfield bowls. Is there anybody that
No.
played?
They didn't represent anything
Western Province.
so long ago.
No.
I think the important part of what you're speaking about are the two youngsters that have excelled. The under 25s, and
really?
it was Melbourne and Isitis, and his niece Shoneen, that have done it really well for the club. And so now we know that the youngsters can play the game, and they play very well. I must tell you that.
Brian, we've come out of the Commonwealth Games where bowls excelled more than most of the other codes. What's the theory behind that, in your opinion?
I'm glad you picked that up. A lot of talk out there by non-bowling people who have thoroughly enjoyed this exciting game. And they said, God, I didn't realize, I was enthralled, I sat and watched all night. And that's a good thing for bowls. And I am just hoping that the powers that be have taken notice of how exciting the game can be by people who have watched the Commonwealth in particular. And I think they must take that up. And I think sponsorships will come through that. I'm hoping it'll come through. People are excited. The team did extremely well, and that's a bonus. When teams or people do well, the sponsorship follows. You know how it works.
Yeah, because I mean they got huge media exposure as a result of the Commonwealth.
Absolutely right. And this is what's lacking in bowls, in fact. And it's a pity. As I said to you, or I said to someone inside there, that more people play bowls than any other sport, and yet we have nothing. We need to remedy that. It's important that we get exposure, and what better exposure than television You know, I mean, I played golf for a short while, and the only coach I had was the television. And similarly, it will happen in bowls. People are excited, believe me.
Because it's an exciting game. It's a
It's a-
technical game.
Yeah, it's a very exciting game, really.
It's a very technical game. It's an exhausting game, believe me.
Exhausting. You're standing there tossing a ball. I mean, how can that
Thank
be
you very
exhausting?
much.
You know how many times you walk up and down the green?
You start at about 2 o'clock and end at about 5. And
after
if you
5.
play the game correctly, you are tired afterwards. You need that beer, believe me.
You need the beer. Because it's a technical and physical game,
physical.
as
It
well
is.
as a mental game.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah.
right. It's a big mental game. It is. But it's a nice game to play.
Yvonne and Brian, sadly we've come to the end of our time.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for coming on the show, telling us a bit about Wheatfield. Good luck with your celebrations.
Thank you.
What's the website again, Brian?
Wheatfield
Wheatfield
Bowls.
Bowls.
That's
Simple.
all.
That's
Simple. Wheatfieldbowls.co.za.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Let's take a short break, and when we come back, we'll catch up with the ladies who can teach you a thing or two. See you now.